Due to the success of my previous video, I have decided to continue with the rigid body simulation tutorials. This time, we want to make like a toy Hot Wheel car loop where one car is chasing the other one, but the faster car go under the other one, like in an action nice scene, and then it jumps, lands in the ramp, and then see how the like a suspension system is being simulated as well. I think that adds like a nice realistic touch from the landing and the drift motion. To start, we're going to use this file. I don't know if it's not super amazing 3D model, and believe it or not, I did it based on this Hot Wheel toy car. It's a Shelby concept, and maybe one day I'm gonna do like a proper model of this one. Of if somebody want to help me to do a model of this car, I would be appreciated. I was thinking to use something more uh, better, something better. Sorry, like this generic sport car low poly from Sketchfab is free to download and is CCC attribution. But I was thinking, nah, I like my model. And what you do with simple geometry, the simulation runs faster. In a Blender scene, the way how I like to work is making it brighter by changing the lighting there, making cavity, making both, and turn off specular lighting. This is just my personal preference. And from here, we start adding the rigid body properties to the 3D model. So we select everything, go to Object, Rigid Body, Active. You can actually do it as well from here, from this bottom. But that's another way. Now we want to add like a suspension system. For that one, we need two constraints. We need the spring constraint and we need the axis or the hinge constraint for the wheel. So let's first, I like doing it in two parts. You can do everything in one, but let's do it with two constraints. So I add a cube, scale it in edit mode, make it something like this high. Now select one of the wheel, Shift C, selection to active. Now in the front top view, we move this cube away. This is gonna be our body to add the suspension system. And the suspension is gonna be between this cube to the body of the car. So when you select these two objects, you go here to the object menu, go back to rigid body, and then click in connect. You can select your empty. Let's make it smaller, changing the size here. Go back to the physics tab, and here we select generic spring. In the generic spring, we don't want any movement or any rotation in X, Y, Z. So we select this and make it 0. So this is gonna make it limit the movement on those axes of rotation. And the same we do with X, Y linear motion. So we just want motion in the Z directions. That's why we are not clicking the link, the checkbox there. And we want the spring to work in the Z location. So I have done this one many times, and I know that a 500 newtons, I guess, in stiffness and 10 in damping will work. But for that, we need to select the body and make it 10 kilograms. The wheels are fine in 1 kilo. And this little box, we need to add the rigid body property to the little box and make it 0.1. That will work. Now, these two objects are connected by this constraint, and we want the constraint to work on top of the box. So for that one, make the box active, Shift S selection to active. Now move this one up a little bit. It's not really important, but yeah, I like to do it like that. For the hinge constraint, I like you can do constraints in two ways. You can add the empty manually and then assign the object in the property here. But this option, like doing rigid body connect, is actually quicker. And we can just do it like that. So change the size. And now change the property. Instead of fixed, we want it to be hinge. And if you pay attention, in limits, it tells you that you can add limits in Z, which means that the rotation of this constraint happens in the Z axis. So we need to rotate the constraint in X by 90. Now Z is pointing at the direction where we want the hinge to work. After doing all this, we can just simply now let's test the simulation that we have done so far. So we add this cube, move it down, control to snap it to the grid. We add rigid body capabilities, we make it passive. Go to solid view. The other thing that I like doing is random or using texture, but I don't have any texture, so random is good. We can see clearly more contrast the different bodies. So if we run the animation, let's see what happened. Okay, the wheels are jumping out of the car because they are clashing. If you see the body, the geometry of this wheel and the geometry of the car are in the same space, so that's why they are clashing. To fix that one, we select the car and then we change the collection here to 2. Now, if we run the simulation, yes, now the body is not interacting with the wheels, and that crazy motion that you see here, well, is the how we set it up. That's what happened when we set it up like that. The box, if you want the box to interact with the body, you can make the box work in both first and one collection. And now, as you can see, the car just falls. Now I think we're going fine. The other thing that I like doing, which is not necessary, but I think it's a good do it's a good things to do, is changing the shape of this one to cylinder. By the way, if you select all of them and then you press Alt click, then that property is gonna be assigned to all the properties that you have been selected. So by doing that, it shouldn't make too much difference. And I think we are good to go and do the rest. So select the 2 empties and the box and duplicate this one and move it in the X. So I'm moving the X by pressing the wheel and then dragging to lock the axis of the movement. We can select this wheel and then we want the X or coordinate to be the same. So copy single to selected. That's it. Now we do the same. We can duplicate this and select the empty, control to unselect the car, duplicate, move it somewhere around here. There is one thing that I forgot, is that the axis, see this axis is using wheel 2, which is this one. So we want to use wheel 1. So select that a constraint, remove wheel 2 and add wheel 1. The same with this one. Remove wheel 2 and add, in this case, wheel 3. Remove wheel 2 and add wheel. Because I like symmetry, I want the y coordinate to be the same in both sides, but in the opposite direction. So we copy this coordinate, get inside, paste it, remove the minus, and that should work. So Control C, Control B. The same with these 2, Control C, go to inside, sorry, Control B, remove the minus. Now what we need to do, we select this, and then copy single to selected. Okay, now we should have like a nice symmetrical constraint for the car. And if we run the simulation, before running, remember to save. It's not a matter of if, it's gonna matter of when it's gonna happen. When it clashes, you should go and click in recover, and autosave is gonna have the 5 minutes autosave file in this folder. So you can find it here when it crashes, so you don't lose too much work. But it's good to save anyway. Okay, now everything should be ready to test the simulation. Let's see. Okay, as you can see, the connections are not too strong, and that's because we are using the solver at 10. So we might crank this up to 60. It's gonna make the simulation slower. There are other ways to keep this number low and make the simulation works, like changing the weight of the car. But if you have too many issues, if your computer is too slow, you can do that one. Try to keep this one in 10 and reduce the weight of the car, and that will make the connection not to go too low. Because if we run the simulation now, see now the wheels are straight and the car doesn't hit the ground. Now that I'm noticing, I would like the front car to be a little bit lower than the back. At the moment it's the other way around. So by changing the center of gravity, which is the origin of the object, we can achieve that one. So if you go to option and click in effect only origin and then press G, you can put the origin of the car here and see how it changed the behavior of the car, because now the center of gravity is here and there is more weight on the front than at the back. So I like how it looks like this. So let's keep it like that. Go back and check that one. So that will be our test car. Now we are going to make the loop. For the loop, we go here, add a circle. This circle, we will change the orientation to view, and then the diameter is 13, so 13 divided by 2, 6.5. We move it up, something like that. And then from here, we add a curve object, a Bezier curve. I'm gonna show you some trick with this Bezier curve. So at the moment, select all the vertices, press V, and then change it to automatic. And this one will allow you to move the vertices, and the handles will move accordingly automatically. That's not a trick. I'm gonna show you the trick that I discovered recently some days ago. I'm just setting up how many vertices do we need. So it's E to extrude. So make this one at the same line that the beginning, and then this is gonna be the top one, which because I have done it too many times, this should be 40 and this one should be 40 roughly. We can bring this one back to automatic. Now what I wanted to show you is that, for example, let's use this one and let's use this too. Each side of the handle can be assigned to a different sort of type. So what I'm trying to say is, like, see, I'm selecting these two, I'm pressing B, and I want this one to be vectors. Sorry, you need to unselect this. Press V, vector. Now, these handles are pointing to each other in a straight line. And if we want this side to have like a nice tangential curve to that straight segment, we select this one and then we change it to align. And now see how the the line has a smooth transition between straight and curve. So that's what I wanted to show you. So we do the same with this one. We select this one and make it a line. And now these two handles, we want it to be vector. And then the one at the outside, control, V, we want it to be a line. Now we have like nice smooth transition, and the circle is pretty good. The ramp coming out, we want something, I don't know, like it give you like a nice airtime to our cars. Yeah, it's nice smooth transition to go out. This one here, we can actually rotate that one, make it straight. And as you can see, when you start rotating the vertices, you lose the automation on the handles, but we don't want it all the time. Okay, from here, we should increase the resolution to 64 to make the curve smoother. And now we can do the profile. So we can hide this cube for the moment. We add another Bezier curve. We go, we rotate it. So let's make it 2D first, and then rotate it here in 90, and then 90 here. Okay, now it's looking to our front. From here, we can make this curve, actually, it doesn't need to be smooth, can be poly. We scale it down, maybe 0.5. Yeah, that's right. We move it up. I have done this one, so it should be 0.125. We should divide it 2 times. Come on, 2. Right. Now we select these 2 vertex, move it down, minus 0.125. Scale this one, eyeball it somewhere around here. Yeah, that one looks maybe a little bit more. Yeah, that one looks good. Okay, that's gonna be the profile of our curve. We don't need this circle anymore. That was just a reference. To keep things tidy, let's select all the cars objects and then move it to a new collection, call it car. Okay, and let's hide it for 1 second. Go to this curve, and in geometry, we change the profile, the bevel, to object, and then Bezier curve. And voila. Now we go to smooth flat, and then we need to make we need to move them to the right from here to avoid to make a nice curve in the loop. So we move it by -1. The same with the next one. Let's see. No, it's the other one. G -1. This one should be G. GY minus 0.25. The one at the top should be GY minus 0.5, and this one GY, yes, you got it right, minus 75. Sorry, G minus 75. Yeah, if we look from top, it should look something like that. And now we need to fix the tilt of the curve. For that, you can go to the front view, change the tilt until it's nice and straight. Do the same with this one. I'm pressing Shift when I'm moving the slider here to have like a smooth increment. Okay, we do this one now, the top, and I think the one at the right, and that should be it. to this one. All right. How it looks. It looks nice. All right, we're almost done for the simulation. Not yet. Let's bring the car back. Let's select all the cards, unselect the loop, and then let's position the card to the beginning. I didn't want to move that one. We're gonna bring it back. Let's put it somewhere around here. So I didn't want to move the profile. Let's put it back to the origin. Change that one to 0, change that one to 90, and let's hide it. We don't want it. We don't need it. Curve object doesn't have rigid body capabilities. So for that one, we need to duplicate it and make a mesh out of it. This process, because it's when you do simulation, you need to interact a lot. So we might need to change the curve geometry at some point. So I'm gonna make, don't get scared. It's just a quick Python routine that you don't need to know Python to do it. So let's go. We have to change this one to info, and we need to change this one to text editor, make a new text, and let's copy and paste all the instructions to do the conversion. So first, press F3. If mesh doesn't come up as the first option, you can type convert to mesh. So in my case, it's there. So we have the first instruction is to change it to mesh. Let's zoom in a little bit. And then add rigid body, add rigid body. We want it to be passive, select passive, and then copy and paste that instruction. In here, in shape, we want it to be mesh. So the same, copy and paste that instruction. In sensitivity, we want this one to be 0. And then we want this collection to interact with the wheels and the body of the car. So we want it to be in both collections. So pressing shift click and you can achieve both. So press C, press B, and now we have everything. This script as it is not gonna work because we need to import the Python library. So we type import BPY, Blender Python library. We don't need info anymore, and we can keep this one. So next time that we do some changes in the curve, we press this play button and it's gonna run all the instructions, hopefully. All right, now it's time to run the simulation. Remember, save, run the simulation, and okay, it's doing his job. It's moving, it's moving, it's moving. Whoa. Okay, it didn't have enough speed. And I think we can do two things. We can increase the height so it gets more speed at the bottom, or we can select the body, go to dynamics, and change the damping transition to 0. Or let's test that one. Okay. It's going around, Oof. It's not missing. I mean, it's not doing it. So we have to change the curve. Then delete this one and duplicate this one again. So hide the original and then increase the slope of that one. So let's make it something crazy, something like that. Or you know what? We can make it closer, rotate it a little bit more, so it's gaining more speed. Let's bring it back because too much speed, maybe it's gonna make a disaster. So let's leave it like this, and now hopefully this script is gonna work. Play. Let's see. Yeah, mesh, 0, collection, passive. It did work. So select our car, let's put it higher, maybe something around here, and let's see what happens. Okay, it's coming down. Yes. Nice. All right. Now what we can do, this is optional, but I like to adding like a nice curve that catches the car. Something else I like doing is adding a new window here, going to scene, and then here in we have access to the rigid body properties like bake, calculate to frame, and then we can actually change some parameter here, and at the same time having a quick access to the rigid body properties. When you do Control Z, you might get a crash, sorry. But for that one, if you do Control Z and you want to run the animation, you save it, but you don't want it to crash, change the speed to 0.9, then bring it back to 1, and it's gonna reset the rigid body simulation, and you might be lucky and don't get a crash. Now, what I would like to do, I would like to actually bake the simulation, because in this way I can add other objects and things, and I won't lose the simulation. And in this case, I can see where the car is gonna land. That allowed me to get our Bezier curve edited, duplicated, and then delete all this that we don't need. Oh, wait, we need one of this one. Delete with this one. Delete. Come on, delete. So we want something like that. We can make it all, no, this one we can make it automatic. V automatic, and then we change the height. This one we can change this one to be automatic. Just B, and I have to be the whole thing. All right, we're almost there. We change this one, we put it somewhere around here, and now we want this one to be vector and this one to be align. Change this one, make it shorter. So now it should land, the car should land nicely in this ramp. If we run the simulation, we need to delete the bake, save, and then you can just click in calculate to frame and press play. We forgot something. So we need to duplicate this one, run the script. So now this is a rigid body object. Hide that one, and let's see. Okay, calculate to frame, press play. We can make it longer, 500 frames for the catch, and then we increase the animation time here. We go back to here and we press play, and you can see how nicely it's catched by the RAM. The cube that we hide before, we can now bring it here, go to edit mode, wireframe, and let's make like a nice big landing platform. Something like this. It doesn't need to be this big, but yeah, doesn't matter. Okay, bring the origin to volume. Now that we need it for a passive object, but I like doing that all the time. All right, let's see something happen. So now, for some reason, the car is not landing properly. So we can move this one. I think by moving it down, it should work. So calculate to frame. See, when you change one thing in physics simulation, even when it doesn't have like a direct consequence to the object, it might change some things. We don't want this curve being on. And we need to move the ramp a little bit to the right or up. Okay, now it's landing. And it's going astray in the landing platform. Well, I like the drifting motion, but that's a little trick that I discovered, or this is the way how I do it. There are 1,000 ways to do things in Blender, so this is one. By changing the damping translation of the wheel, you can make this wheel to go slower, and then the body is gonna try to drift. For that one, let's say that we want the drifting to start here. So we add a keyframe here, and probably 10 frames later, we make it, believe it or not, between 1, but 1 is the maximum, and between 1 and 0.99, there is a lot of difference. 1 is gonna make the car stop suddenly, so we can see this one by changing, animating, and see how the car just stopped, like hitting a wall. And you know what? I think it's correct. So we want it, if we make it 0.99 or 995, let's see. I think we are going to get a better result with that one. Okay, see, I like it. It's looking good. Let's keep running the animation, the simulation. We could leave it like that, but I would like the drift to stop, like you are turning, and then boom, change here. For that one, we can do the same for the other wheels. We select this wheel. We can add a keyframe here, and then move it G10, and then here we add 0.99, 0.95. Let's do the same. And then for the other 3 wheels, we do Shift L, no, sorry, Control L, link animation data. Now these 3 wheels are gonna have the same animation data, and if you change the keyframes in one of the wheels, it's gonna change the keyframe on the other ones. All right, too much talking. Let's see what is gonna happen. Calculate to frame. Okay, calculate to frame. Yeah, I think I'm happy. Let's see how is the whole movement. Boom. Okay, I would like this one to maybe to finish suddenly, maybe at here. When it goes boom, when it start moving back. Okay, and I know what to do. Maybe here, let's move this one a couple of frames to the right, and then in this one, we make it full one. Insert keyframe, calculate to frame. Let's see. Too sudden, too strong. Let's make this one a little bit farther away. Calculate to frame. Boom. Yeah, I like that one. It's still too sudden there, but I think it looks good. You can always tweak these numbers and put it 0.999 or something like that. But if I keep doing that one, this tutorial is gonna be like 2 hours long. So I'm happy with that result, and see, I like the bounciness of the suspension system. You can add more, you can make it less. If you wanted to spring more, it's changing the damping. If you want it softer, it's changing the stiffness. So let's see the whole simulation, how it looks. So it's going downhill, going through the loop, nice. And then jumping and landing and doing a drift at the end. All right, now the trickiest part is try to make one car going under the other one. I'm just trying to see if the speed is correct. We might need to make this car going faster. But let's try like this. Or you know what? I'm gonna bring it up because I think we need more speed. By bringing this up, you might want to change this keyframe location because now they are going to happen sooner. I mean, maybe they are going to happen when the car is in the air. So you might need to change that one. See, the damping start when the car was in the air, so we need to change the location of this one a couple of frames forward. Calculate to frame. Like it's losing. Maybe you know what? I'm gonna change the surface response to 0.2 or maybe 0.1. And this one we might want to add it to our script. Python info. So friction, we put it as another step. Close the info tab and calculate to frame. Let's see. Wow, that makes a massive, massive difference. I wasn't expected to be that different. Wow. See, maybe that's one of the things that I didn't do properly last time. That's why I need to increase this track this time, so we can bring the car bar back. Sorry, to something around 4040. Let's run it from here. Yeah, that was nice. Yeah. All right, we can keep it like that. Let's leave it like that, and let's try to do the car under the other one. So we duplicate this one, and we put it roughly halfway in. Now to do, because we need to do some testing, we don't want this one to move, so check dynamic. It's gonna make it like a solid, no animated object or no simulated object. See that one, similar to that one, but we want it to be not such a big gap, a smaller gap. Okay, go back to the simulation, put the cursor to selection, because now we know where it was before we start moving it. And then we move it, we want it faster, so we can move it back somewhere around here and run the simulation. Okay, it's working. Aha. So we can go and move this car back and forward until we find the sweet spot for the separation between the car and the track. But there is another way. Oh, that one doesn't look too bad, actually. There is another way. We can just change the damping of the car in dynamics. So at the moment it's 0, and if we increase the damping, it's gonna make it slower. We can actually do that, but let's run the simulation like this to see what happened with both cars. Select the first one, check dynamic, and go. Okay, one is going fast, going underneath. Oof. So see, this is when the things start getting tricky, because this car, see what happened? It hit it. So that means that it's going too fast, or is arriving too quick. So there are some options to accommodate that one. Let's do the option of moving the car from different position. And the other one, we are going to increase the damping. If this one doesn't work, we increase the damping a little bit. Okay, it's working better. So let's do the damping option. So we select this object, go back and let's leave it like that. Go to damping. Let's put 0.05 and see what happens. Calculate to frame. Okay, we want it faster. Faster, 0.04. Calculate to frame. Okay, we want it a touch faster. 3, let's try 3. Calculate to frame. You know what? I'm gonna make it 1. Calculate to frame. Okay, I can see it's clashing already, so make it 2. Calculate to frame. All right, maybe this one works. Oof. All right, that's nice. We are almost there. I think the timing is right. It needs to go faster. So see, it needs to go faster in this one. So we might need to change the height then to make it faster. Make sure that you're selecting all the things of the car. It's gonna mess it up if you don't do it like that. Yes. So that's it. We got it. Nice. And the other one, let me see if this one, and the other one is landing. Well, it correct itself. It didn't land properly. In my previous animation, yeah, it working fine. But I think we can leave it like that. All right, I forgot something. I forgot to change the speed of the animation. I have made some changes, so bear with me. I'm gonna walk you through the changes that I did. So the car body weighs 5 kilos, is 0.5 friction, 0.035 of damping, the other one, the one that goes under, and look at the coordinate, minus 15x and 62 in z, and this one, 40 in z and minus 35 in x, and 0.07 damping, 5 kilograms, and 0.5 of frictions. The springs, I think I didn't change it, but you can double check. They are 210, all the same. Wheels have the same weight and everything. And this animation, as you can see here, I delete the catching platform, and I move the catching ramp. I delete it. I move the catching platform down so that I can grab the 2 cars. So at this configuration, the simulation works fine. So one car goes under the other one, and both lands in the platform. I change because I did it before, but I had to redo it. See, the damping is happening in the frame 300, roughly, for both cars. One thing that I noticed when I duplicate this one lost the linking animation. So you select one, make it one active, and then you do Control L, link animation data. When in the duplication, the link was lost. Now let's do the change in speed quick. We go to from view here. No, we want the animation to change the speed somewhere around here. We go to do that, we go to this property scene tab here and keyframe the speed, and about 5 frames forward, somewhere around here, we can make it 0.2 at keyframe. Maybe let's do it a little bit before. Now, like around 60 frames forward, we bring the speed back to normal. So let's run calculate to frame. Let's see. Let's see the animation. It's going fast. Change the speed, add intention, and then it recovers the speed at when it goes out. Boom. Nice, 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 nice. All right, yeah, I like it. Then at the end we have this nice drift for both car. So now that's it. As something that I wanted to show you, there are some YouTube channel where these people they grab like they have like a real Hot Wheels and they make their own tracks and they make it compete and they have like nice competitions. And these guys are so funny. 3D bot maker. They have like a whole city in their cars and they have like a good narration. It's pretty entertaining, these channels. And then I discovered this guy. He has in this video, Toy Toys. He has like a drifting pad. So this one can be simulated actually without doing the damping. Just by modeling this one and changing maybe the friction, you can achieve something like that. Maybe I can do a tutorial because I did some a test and it works. See, this is something that I did before, ages ago, testing the idea. I did the changing in speed as well, but I add this little cube here that if you see carefully, when this car is going on top of that one, it hits the car and then it goes down. So by doing that one, just the front is gonna be altered and not the back. And this car it makes some spins and it lands properly. Well, that was pure luck. And then you can also always add some camera to make it more dramatic, some changing angles, flying. See, I like this sort of animation. I think this car doesn't have, probably they don't have a suspension system. I'm not sure. That's one. And this is another file that I did ages ago. So you can see I duplicate the ramp, but in this one I added like a bend, 90 degrees bend, and I want them to cross the cars to cross to each other. So I change the speed as you can see, and I change the speed here as well. And this one, how I did this track, I think that was the most painful part. Is just to add in the proper curvature and that the car doesn't get out of the curve. So I was changing the tilt a lot for that to happen, to keep the car on track. And yeah, you can do by testing and hopefully using the script that we did. And then you can see how the three cars they just land in the platform. So the sky is the limit, as I said. You can go crazy. You can model a whole city, do some chasing scenes, or yeah, whatever you want. So have fun with that. And if you do something, just show me in the comments. Maybe I don't know. So that's it. Bye.